Hi there, everybody. I'm just turning on my Instagram. Hi there, everybody. I'm Wendy Margolin, and I help business leaders stand out online with content marketing. I'm just going to adjust this. Thank you so much for joining me. I am here every Thursday morning, 10:30 a.m. Central Time, and I teach content marketing. And I've been talking about the content marketing system. I spoke previously about the one-liner that every business needs. You're going to use this in many places, including the website copywriting. So today I want to talk to you about website copywriting. And this is super important. I'm excited to talk about it because it's really basic. It helps business leaders at all levels, whether you're writing your first website or you have many, or you're done with it, but you want to rethink the copy and tweak it and make it work better. So that is what I'm talking about today. And if you stick around for the end, then I have a special guest who is going to be joining me here today. So hopefully you'll stick around to the end. And I am just going to pull up my notes. Sorry that I'm not totally ready the way that I should be, but here we go. Okay, so what I want to talk to you about, like I said, is website copywriting. And here's the thing about writing a website is that you spend a really long time thinking about redoing it. You save up the money. It's a huge investment of your time and your money. And when you get to the web developer, it's like you're choosing which person to use, who's going to make the best one. Is it going to, which platform, Squarespace, WordPress? So there are so many decisions that go into that. I'm not going to be talking about those today, but if you've created a website before, you know what those are. And the challenge is that once you've done all that, it's like you think that you're there, but really the company that you work with is not going to write your content for you. That is left for you to do. You have to write your website content, and it's got to be something that's going to work. Otherwise, you're going to end up with something that you might as well just frame on the wall. It'll be beautiful, but it's not going to be something that makes your target market want to work with you. So that is what I want to talk to you about today in order to write a website that works. It doesn't have to be that complicated. You don't need so many fancy things, especially if you are a service provider, which is who I typically work with. Okay, so what goes into website copy that converts? I'm going to go through the wireframe that I use on every website. And then I'm also going to tell you a few common pitfalls that I see on websites typically. All right, so you're going to start with the service that you provide. This is the one-liner that I've talked about in the past. I will put in the comments a link to an article that's going to give you a formula for writing your one-liner. But so if you don't already have that, then go back, listen to the previous Facebook Live, or check out the blog in the comments that I will put after this. And so basically your one-liner is going to be the one line that shows the problem that your customers have, that you are the right person to solve it, and how it makes their lives better. So that is what your one-liner is going to be, and that needs to be very prominent at the top of your website. You want this in really simple language. It is not meant to be clever. It's not meant to be flowery language. It's meant to be really, really simple. I've heard people talk about it needing to pass the grunt test, which is that, like, basically a caveman would understand it. But really think about how you would describe what you do for others, the problem that you solve, in a really simple way that a child could understand. So I don't care how complicated your business is. This is something that you need to be able to accomplish, because even if you're speaking to a very high level target market, they're not necessarily wanting to spend a lot of time thinking about how you can help them when they first get to your website. You can go really deep into details in your blogs, but your homepage needs to be really basic about the service that you provide. So you need that one-liner at the top, super obvious. It's got to be there. Okay, I'm going to talk about elements like call to action buttons, things like that in other places, in other Facebook Lives. But today I'm just talking about the content. So this is stuff that you're writing down on a piece of paper. You are not getting into the details of design. This is just your copy. So you're going to start with the service you provide. Next, you're going to list out the benefits that you offer. So you list out the benefits that you offer. You can list 3 to 5 benefits. You want these to be simple, and things like you save people money, you whatever problem that you help them solve, you give them a clear path to success in this particular area. If you're more of a visual thinker, think icons. So what are like the simple words that you could reflect in an image? Like maybe a money image or a clock, like you save time, whatever it is. So 3 to 5 benefits, you're going to list that out. Next, you're going to list the costs of not working with you. So it might be that they're going to waste money, they're going to waste time, they're not going to know which tactics to use first. They aren't going to get the job done on their own. So costs of not working with you, especially as opposed to choosing someone else over you. So you're going to want to list first the problem that you solve, the benefits that you provide, and the costs of not working with you. Those are the first 3 items. Next, you're finally going to get into who you are. So this is where a lot of service providers start. If you go to their website, it's more like an about me page. But this is where you finally get to say where you are, who you are. But there's a catch, because you want to talk about who you are in the context of what you do for them. So if you have 20 years writing experience, which is one of the main things that I offer people, is 2 decades of experience in writing. So you're going to want to say that, but it's about how I can do that for you. I bring that expertise to you. So you always want to be focused on your target customers, what they need from you. And those are the things that you're going to list. No one really wants to hear the whole history of your company. It's not very interesting to them outside of maybe your family members. So you're really focusing on what you provide and show that you're an expert. This is a great place to put a video of you. So you could explain that in words, have a little bit of content, but then you can also have there's my special guest making noise. Maybe we'll introduce her sooner than later. Okay, so that's going to be the about you. Next, you're going to list how you help them. So you're going to walk them through the journey that you're going to take them on, the path that you're going to take them on. And that is how they're going to work with you. So you're going to make this very clear of what it's going to look like to work with you. It's going to be these steps. It's going to take this long. So you're going to walk them through that. And finally, you're going to list testimonials and logos of clients who you've worked with. So that's going to add to your credibility. It's going to make them feel like they belong. And so that's going to be there. So that's about it. You could also, if your price is very obvious, then that's something that you could put there. But usually service providers don't want to include their price on their homepage. So mostly it's going to just include those elements. So I'm going to walk through that quickly. Again, you're going to start with your one-liner, the service that you provide, the benefits you offer, the costs of not working with you, who you are in a way that's really about who you are in order to help them, and testimonials at the bottom. Okay, so that's what you need in the wireframe. And I'm going to walk through a couple of the common website pitfalls that I typically see with new websites or even just old websites. But sometimes it's beautiful, brand new websites, and I will still see these common pitfalls. So one I kind of talked about already is that it's really beautiful and it doesn't tell people who you are and what you do in order to help them. So that is one. You want to make it really obvious who you are in a way that you solve the problem that your clients have. You also don't want it to be an about me page. Like a lot of times, especially with service providers, I go to their homepage and it's all about them, their whole story of how they started this company, what they do, their background, all their years in social work or whatever. It's not an about me page. There is a place for that on your website and it is not on your homepage. You also want to make it really easy to work with you. It's uncomfortable for a lot of people when, you're not selling products, you're selling services, to be like, buy now, So maybe it's make an appointment, but you want that call to action button to be really, really obvious. I recommend putting it in the top right-hand corner, and then think of your viewers kind of looking at your website as a Z. I might be backward here too, but you're going to start at the left. Their eye's going to go to the right. So you want a button there, and they're kind of going to go back down and back to the right. So you want your button at the top right, and you want a call to action in the middle, right there under your one-liner. So you're going to make it really obvious how to work with you, and you want it to be a really obvious call to action. You don't want learn more. You want buy now, or make an appointment, or work with us. Like majorly obvious what you want them to do. And so you want that call to action to scroll down. So maybe your header scrolls with them, but as they go through the page, you don't want them to have to look around for that button to work with you. Otherwise, they'll get lazy, they'll get distracted, they'll think I'll do it later, and then they might never do it. Okay, and you also want to make sure that you're focusing constantly on the problem that your customers have, and again, like not on yourself and what you do. So I hope that helped you. I have a workbook that will walk you through all of this. I'm going to put it in the comments, so please check that out. It will talk about everything that I did with you here, and then also it gives you that formula for writing your one-liner, and it gives you space to think about all the elements that I talked about for that wireframe. And if you take your time and do that, then you're going to have a website copy wireframe that works. It's going to be so much better than so many other service providers. It's going to set you apart by making it really obvious why people should work with you. Okay, so I promised my special guest, I'm going to show her off. She's somewhere around here. Oh. Okay. This is our newest Sparker marketing mascot. She's loving life here in the Margolin office. We have another dog who's very quiet, and he's my awesome running partner. But this here is Ani. Say hello. And hopefully she will continue to be easy and not disruptive to my business and Facebook Lives, but she's been a lot of fun. So I hope you guys are all doing well, and I will see you back here next week. Thank you so much for joining me, and let me know if you have any questions. I would love to chat.